Hi, I'm Jeff Bond. I'm with Bond Placer, and welcome to the Yukon. I just wanted to show you a little bit about what I'm doing here. I've been working with this mini excavator, Wacker Neuson EZ17, on my gold claims here in the Yukon. And it's a shallow gold deposit, so you don't have to dig too far below the surface before you're into the pay dirt. And so a mini excavator is kind of the ideal piece of equipment, and I've been working with it here for the last week. I rented it in Whitehorse from local rental solutions, and I'll tell you, this thing is just a beast. It's just amazing what it can do and where it can go. The rocks it's lifting, the gravel's really quite coarse here at this particular claim. And so there's some big rock. They're fairly tightly compacted together, and the Wacker Neuson EZ17 just kind of chews through it and gets me the samples. So I'm digging down about maximum of about 2 meters with the machine, and that's good enough. The gold is a little higher than that in the section, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a little tour of the exploration property here, and the equipment I'm using. And yeah, it's been really great using this piece of equipment. So here's the Wacker Neuson EZ17, and it's just going to get it fired up here for the morning, get it warmed up, and then we're going to take it up through the bush here and dig a test pit and give you an idea of what this little machine is capable of. So I've arrived where I want to dig a test pit, and the idea here is to just strip off the moss and the organics, put them aside so I can replace them later after I'm finished and reclaiming the site. Dig the test pit, and we'll take a sample of the gravel and pan it, see what kind of gold we get in it. Back at I've got a basin of water where we can pan the gravel. So let's see what we got here. So here's the test pit that we just dug. It's about 1.5 meters wide and 1.5 meters long and maybe 1 meter deep. And look at the size of the rock that's coming out of here. There's some big stones. And this little beauty handled it like nothing. Amazing. Could never have done that by hand. This is my first time operating an excavator. I'm a placer geologist that's normally using a pick and shovel, so this is pretty awesome. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, so let's see what's inside the test pit and see what the rocks are telling us. On the back of the Wacker Neuson EZ17, there's a spot you can put a pick and shovel. I attached my backpack on the back end as well. Mosquitoes are out now. And then inside there I can put my my gold pan and my water, what have you. Yeah, a little rack would be handy on these things for this kind of work. If I owned something like this, I'd probably modify it just to put a bit of extra equipment on the back end. Let's go see what the rocks have in store for us. So before I take any samples, what I'll typically do is just measure the test pit and record its location. Obviously, I use Avenza software, so I got all my maps for the claim loaded into Avenza, and so it tracks my location. And then I can put a point here, and then I write all my descriptions, add photos, what have you, into the Avenza point location. And then I can download all that when I get back home and then put it into the computer. So typical things I'll do here is just measure the depth. I'll measure the thickness of the different units or different gravels. And here we got two gravels. We got the loose one, we got the tightly bound one up top. Just take some quick photographs of that, and yeah, make some just general descriptions, and then we'll sample it and see if there's anything in it. Yeah, so I noticed when I was digging the test pit, and this has been very typical on this claim, is that the upper gravels kind of more silty, more tightly bound together, and harder to dig. I mean, that's where the majority of the concentration of the bigger rock was right underneath the moss here. And then down below, it becomes a lot more pebbly, and it's loose. And it's not very tightly bound at all. It's not compact. It was much easier digging with the excavator. But up here, this is tightly bound, and there's a fair bit of fines or silt in the matrix, or in the fine fraction of the gravel, which is what you want to see when you're prospecting. Down in here, it's like there's not a lot of fines, and so I don't expect there to be much gold down in here. But if we can get a layer right at the top here with the majority of the gold, then that's good. It's easy to get at. So let's take a pan and see what we get. So I just started the reclamation process of backfilling the test pit here. And so just putting the gravel back into the hole and just sort of finishing that off right now. It's important to make sure you do this before you leave your site. Part of the permit to operate here. And so I'm just gonna finish up. brought the excavator back down to the water basin here. I'm pretty much finished up there, so I got this sample that I'll pan now. Let's see what we got. I set aside a little bit of the pay dirt up there, just for sampling a larger, a few buckets full later if I want. So because this is the challenge with this particular claim is all of these gravel deposits were laid down during the last ice age by water from glaciers. And so now at the current time, there is no flowing water here. There was 20,000 years ago, but there isn't anymore. So you got to bring water in, and that's going to be one of the challenges if there's a deposit here. As you can hear, the road goes right through this thing, so that's good. I mean, access is incredible. It's a year-round maintained road, and we're literally 15 meters from the road here where I'm panning and digging test pits down here too, so access is really good. So if you're going to develop it, you've got to either pipeline the water in or truck it in and recirculate, which can be done. Beautiful day here. We're kind of nearing the end of August, and sometimes later in August it gets pretty rainy and wet in the Yukon. But this year it's been really actually quite nice, and a few bugs today, a few black flies, the odd mosquito, but really hardly any. Can't complain. I got a small camp here that I stay in when I'm up here prospecting. I just have a wall tent, canvas wall tent that I sleep in. It's simple. About 4 hours from home drive. What I'm hoping is that on this claim is that maybe there's a possibility of a small operation or something that I can maybe get into. I've never placer mined. I've studied placer deposits for much of my career, so I understand their evolution, how they form. I've also documented a lot of mining practices and how to set up placer mines and that sort of thing, so I've got a fair bit of knowledge in that field, but I've never actually been a heavy equipment person. So setting up a mine, operating a mine, keeping equipment running, that's kind of the main skill once you start placer mining in order to be successful. Finding it is one thing, but mining it is another. I'm really impressed with this little mini excavator, though, that Wacker Neuson has made. It's the EZ17. It's just perfect for this exploration job, really, because I'm, all my gold-bearing gravels are kind of right below the surface, and as I mentioned, and so it's not, at this stage of the game, when it comes to mining it, you'll need something bigger, obviously, to scale it up a bit. But at this stage, it's nice and light on the environment, and easy to move around through the bush. I don't have to cut a bunch of wide swaths through the trees. The chainsaw, which adds a lot of labor, I can just sort of navigate between them. It's been a really good decision to bring that in here, and it's led to some discoveries on the claim, actually. So I'm hoping that everything works out with permitting and what have you, and can get a small operation potentially in here next year. There's recently I flew, I had DC Environmental come out and fly LiDAR of the property, which has been a game changer as well. And I've been using that data because all of the gold deposits here are reflection of surface landforms. LiDAR, which gives you essentially a bare earth topographic model of your landscape. It's stripping all the trees off your landscape and it's giving you just sort of the land shape. It's just beautiful, and that's really been helpful this summer in terms of targeting certain landforms that I haven't been able to sort of get at. Previous to this trip, I've been prospecting with pick and shovel, so really trying to pick really shallow stuff. There is some stuff that's like a meter below sands and things. The excavator's been helpful there, but it's definitely led to some discoveries. LiDAR, super useful on this placer claim. Let's see what we got in here. That test pit we just dug, just outside of this one channel that I've been prospecting, so it's kind of peripheral to where I've been looking lately. I was just kind of curious to see what was up there. When you start getting into these gold-bearing gravels, there's heavy minerals like magnetite that kind of go along with the gold. So if you get coarse, heavy minerals, you'll also get, there's a bit of gold in there. It's a couple small pieces in a pan. It's not bad. Definitely worth taking a larger sample. So what I'll do is I'll come back here again and bring more water and set up a long tom, small sluice box, and just hand bomb a few pails through from each of the test pit locations. And if I do like 4 or 5 gallon pails from a location, that's 1/10 of a cubic yard. It's not a bad test. It'd be nice to do more, up to a yard perhaps. And that's sort of the next stage for some of these more promising test pit locations. So till then, we'll just keep digging holes with the EZ17 and see if we can't isolate and identify some mineable ground for next year. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and hope you've enjoyed the tour of the placer claim up here in Yukon. Thanks very much.